If you're looking for some early color in the garden, there are some great early flowering rhododendrons. Look at this one, for example. It's a variety called Cream Crest. This is an evergreen variety of rhododendron, but you'll notice it has a rather upright habit of growth. Here's another great one. This is much lower, as you can see. Elizabeth is the variety. And you know what's unusual about this one is that it very often flowers again in the fall. I found out one thing about this variety, though. It doesn't particularly like feeding, so go light on the fertilizer around Elizabeth. And this is a variety called Litangiense. And notice the light blue flowers on it, really pretty, and the dark, dark foliage. You can see it's a very, very low growing species type rhododendron. Very pretty color though, isn't it? You can imagine what that'll look like when it's in full bloom. And if you head along with the whites and some of the other colors, oh gosh, it'd be just outstanding. And here's another neat variety, also an evergreen. All these are, in fact. This is a variety called Ramapo. And it's kind of an unusual color, isn't it? It's kind of a plum color rhododendron. And you know, I don't think there's really many rhododendrons in this color, even though there are something like 30,000 varieties of rhododendrons. This is really an unusual one. And again, very compact in its growth habit. And you can see because of that, you can imagine it's just a huge bouquet when fully in bloom. And here's a neat dwarf red one. Don't see many dwarf red varieties of rhododendrons. This one's called Eichelser. As you can see, beautiful dark green foliage. This is one that was developed in the state of Washington. Really a nice low growing red flowering variety of rhododendron. And back in here is a very popular one, usually a little brighter color than this, but this is late in the season for it. It's a variety called PJM. Now the important thing about all of these varieties of rhododendrons is when you plant them in the garden, be sure you plant them right at ground level. If you plant them too deep, they'll grow but they won't flower. The other thing is that they benefit, maybe with the exception of Elizabeth, they benefit from a feeding of rhododendron fertilizer, usually in late February, early March, late winter in other words, and again in late spring if they need it. But when you have beautiful foliage color like this, I'm not too sure that they need that much attention. Protect them from hot midday sun. And when you plant them, of course, mix lots of organic humus in the soil. They really do well in a good fertile soil, but kind of a natural soil at the same time. The beautiful early flowering rhododendrons. What a nice addition they are into the garden at this time of the year. And remember, you look at the foliage all 12 months of the year. So not only flowers, look at the foliage too.